Well, it's lovely to have you here on our EdVenture road trip. We'd love to hear about what's your experience been with EVs at your utility so far.
Sure, happy to share. So I'm Brian Stonerock. I'm the Principal Manager of eMobility at Southern California Edison. And my team's deploying over $800 million of infrastructure to help be a catalyst for charging away from home for light-duty vehicles and helping our transport customers convert their fleets. So my experience over the last 7 months has been in helping with marketing the programs and sharing what we're doing, as well as helping my teams work through the operational challenges of deploying the infrastructure. So we're at a stage now where we've already deployed thousands of charging stations across the state, and we're aggressively targeting to get over 30,000 installed over the next few years. And so we're ramping up, we're scaling up quickly right now.
With all your marketing efforts, how do you really communicate the benefits of electric vehicles to customers?
Yeah, what's happening in California is interesting. So it's leading in terms of customers converting to electric vehicles today. In the last few months, we've seen that supply chain challenges have slowed down some of the overall sales in California, but over 20% of vehicles over the last 3 to 6 months in our service territory have been electric vehicle sales. And so what's interesting is that we're seeing over 1 million vehicles in California today. We think that over 400,000 of those are in our service territory, and the trajectory is just ramping up faster and faster.
Whoa.
Yeah.
How do you address the affordability and equity issues we see with any new technology? It's going to be a bit more expensive at first.
Yeah, it's a big deal for us in Southern California Edison. What we've been doing is targeting our charging infrastructure to be deployed in disadvantaged communities. So the real purpose of our programs is to help reduce range anxiety for folks who are making the decision to buy or thinking about doing it in the future. So we're helping for multifamily homes for them to make the conversions, and we're helping in the areas that have been hit the hardest with the clean air challenges. And so California has a number of large ports, and they run through transportation corridors like what's pictured behind me. And so we're helping target those areas to get charging infrastructure so that folks have less anxiety about where they're going to charge.
Right. Yeah. And leading into that, how have you seen the new California Executive Order N7920, which in layman's terms is the 2035 goal of all electric vehicle sales in California? How have you seen that impact the grid and utility operations?
Yeah, so we've been planning ahead for this for quite some time. So we published a white paper that's our clean energy vision for 2045. And we've also been thinking about how to reimagine the grid. So what it's going to take to prepare the grid and meet the customer demand as it increases over time. So this is an executive order that's going to make it so that all the new purchases of vehicles are going to be electric vehicles. And so we know that that's going to increase the demand on the grid. Our forecast is that peak demand will increase by as much as 60%. And so this means that we've got to be planning ahead for our transmission, our distribution, and then planning for all the charging infrastructure as well. So the program that we're deploying, our Charge Ready program, is helping get that started. And we know that the market is going to continue through 2040, through 2045 and beyond. And so we're deploying over $5 billion a year of infrastructure upgrades that are helping get the grid ready. And then we're planning ahead. So we're going to be filing our next general rate case, and we're proposing to use very aggressive adoption curves so that we're staying ahead of it, and we're not having to be reactive, but we're being proactive.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
Being proactive. Do you have any final advice for utilities, because you are on the forefront?
Yeah, I've got a couple of things. One, pilot programs really help get the processes internally set up, and then also help customers understand how the programs that any utility is thinking about deploying will work. So we deployed a number of pilot programs ahead of getting our current program approved through our Public Utilities Commission, and that really helped us get organized, but it also helped our customers understand what was coming. So I think that's a big deal. Infrastructure programs is one part of the puzzle, so we're also thinking about our rates and rebates as well in terms of the offerings to help customers purchase electric vehicles. We have a pre-owned EV rebate, and California has a clean fuel rewards program that also helps create funding opportunities, which not all states have, but I think it's really putting the whole package together so that customers understand that when they purchase the vehicle and they're charging at home, that they can move to a time of use rate. And what that advantage is for the utility is really creates an opportunity to shift the load profile. So charging at night or charging during the day outside of peak times is a big deal for us as a utility as well. So I think getting that whole package together and then being able to get customers to understand those benefits takes a lot of pre-planning. And of course, once we have implemented, well, we're still learning lessons, and so we continue to share those as we go out and talk to other utilities. But those are my key points.
Wonderful. Thank you for meeting with us.
I'm not currently. Yeah, actually today I drove a 2011 Honda, and I've been in the market for a few years, but we've been working from home, and so I've test driven a number of vehicles. I really like the technology advancements that are happening, but what's exciting for me is that, and what's been influencing our decision at home, is that there's over 100 models that are being produced for the next few years, and so really excited to see what all the different offerings are, how the technology advances. So those are kind of the key things that I'm thinking about for our next purchase. I think there's been a lot of news at the federal level related to some of the programs that are coming with the Inflation Reduction Act. But in California, we've had a pre-owned EV rebate, which the federal program actually is modeled after, so we're proud of that. But yeah, we have rebates that are also helping with income assistance in terms of like putting a rebate out for pre-owned, and we've been doing that for a while, and those rebates also help customers make the conversion.